Cobwobblies Have a Think by Elizabeth Evelyn. The Cobwobblies were very pleased. They'd grown a large cabbage, and now they just had to get it home. But the cabbage was very big, and Cobwobblies are rather small. So they hunted around for a flatbed trailer, and pushed and tugged it. It inched closer and closer, but then it just stopped. There was still a gap between the trailer and the cabbage. They needed a plan. So off they went to find one. But when they got back, they realized something had changed. The trailer was still there, and the cabbage was still there, but someone had taken a large bite out of its side. This was all very curious. Cobwobblies don't know many things, but they do know that they think best when their heads are warm. So they hunted round for some thinking caps, and soon they had a truly brilliant plan. They would make a large scary notice and a larger scarier fence, and when that was done they'd make an even bigger trailer to move the cabbage. Then they set to work. The next day, as they pulled their new trailer into the field, they saw the fence was still there, and the notice was still there, and so was the cabbage. But it was even smaller than before. Another chunk had been eaten. The cobwebs scratched their heads and got out their magnifying glasses and peered. What was that? Tooth marks? 2 crumpled leaves? A long slimy trail? They held their breath. Then, in the distance, they could just make out a faint sound. Whoosh, whoosh. The Cobwobblies blinked. The whooshing got nearer and nearer. Suddenly a large magic-coloured snail slid into view. "Greetings, greetings, my Cobwobbly friends," a voice said. The Cobwobblies looked at each other, and then they had a thought. Slime? Tooth marks? Now it all made sense. The snail must have munched the cabbage. There was only one thing for it. They had to put the snail under armed guard. And with that, they marched the snail away, very, very slowly, at a snail's pace. All that was left was to take the cabbage home. But when they raced back, they found something else had changed. The cabbage had 2 more holes. They checked the fencing. No problems there. So then they collected cobwebs and climbed up into the bushes above the field and sat very, very still. Whoosh, whoosh. They could just make out the sound. Whoosh. The Cobwobblies held their breath and listened. Suddenly a shiny coloured head came into view, and a long neck. "Ah!" they roared. "Ah!" as they threw down the cobwebs. Then they charged and leapt at the creature. "Ah!" The Cobwobblies had trapped another snail, but this one was a scary blue and red, with a swirly pattern and angry eyes. He was very fierce. Twisting and turning, he snapped and growled, but they held the cobweb tightly. "Leave our cabbages alone!" they shouted. The snail scowled. But the Cobwobblies were very brave. "Heave!" they cried. The cobwebs dragged the snail over the fence, round the trailer and across the field. Heave! With one enormous push they toppled the snail out of the field and watched as it rolled away down a very large bank. "Hooray!" shouted the Cobwobblies. "We did it! We did it! Time to get the cabbage home." "But what about me?" asked the captured snail. "We're really sorry," said the Cobwobblies. "It wasn't you at all. Please forgive us, and here, have a freshly picked cabbage leaf." "Ooh, how deliriously delicious! Thank you, yum," said the snail. Just then the evening music began to play. It got louder and louder. "Crazy dancing time!" shouted the cobwebs. "Yeah, crazy dancing!" And soon they were all dancing, and continued to dance for a very long time. Wow, what fun!